Sup nerds! Welcome back to my channel guys. We are up close and personal for no reason, honestly. I'm just wearing some Grinch pants. I'm kicking the camera. We're maxing because we have my reading wrap up for the month of November. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll talk about it. First, if you guys like reading wrap-ups, if you guys like talking about books, if you guys like all the nerdy things, then definitely give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's just get started. I'm just cracking up because we have 2 books here. But for the month of November, I read 5 books. 5. If you ask me how many TV shows I watched or how many episodes, probably a lot more than that. I don't know, maybe it was like a delayed response from my 30 books in 30 days challenge. I don't know, but it's also like I just, again, started my job at Target I think the end of October, but like I feel like November was when I mostly like worked like my full work job. 5 days a week, and then I worked 4 days a week at Target. I feel like I was also getting used to that. And I don't know, I was just in the mood for certain shows. I do feel like I'm dabbling back into reading again already. And obviously we're not even in December. When I'm filming this, we're not in December, but December just started. So definitely feel like I can read a bit more. I honestly am in the mood for some Christmas books, some Christmas reads as well. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, we will do a video as well. Hopefully I'm going to try to do a video as well with my fall TBRR and my fall TBR reading wrap up as well, because I, always like to show you guys what I read and what I didn't read when I decide to make a video about it, you know what I mean? So I want to show you guys that. So anyway, let's talk about the 5 books because it should be super short and sweet. Again, there's no like, I said this in another video, there was no animosity towards reading. I wasn't like, ugh, I don't want to read. It was just more like, I don't know, I'm going to watch TV tonight, and I was like, oh, I should probably read. And it's like, and like, it's, it didn't feel like reading didn't give me the ick. But it was also like I was preferring to just watch TV. So whatever you want to call that. But I started off the month actually with this cutie little book. This is The Magician's Nephew, The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. This is the real book 1. So I know if you've seen Narnia, book 1, movie 1 is The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But the real book 1 in the series is this one, The Magician's Nephew. Sorry, I just wanted to pop in that actually The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is actually book 1 in release order, but the one that I was just talking about is number 1 in chronological order. So I guess it's a tale as old as time, chronological order versus release order. Honestly, I'm so annoyed that they don't have this as a movie because it kind of gives a lot of background. It kind of shows you almost like the origin story of a lot of the stuff that happens in Narnia. And so I really enjoyed this book. It was super short. I gave it 5 stars. I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like the Harry Potters where I don't give any of them less than 5 stars because it was just fun. It felt like an adventure. It felt like, I wanted to keep reading. And then it's so short. That's the thing too. It's way shorter than Harry Potter's. So I kind of like that a lot because they're so short and you can like fly through them. And then the audiobooks are on my Libby as well. So I can listen to them for free. They're like less than a couple hours. They're a couple hours only, and the story is good. Like check. This was exactly the kind of book though I needed this past month. And honestly, looking at the 5 that I read, for the most part, they're pretty similar where they're short and sweet. But I definitely think if you have not read Narnia and you're looking for that just nostalgic kid adventure sort of feel, I would definitely go with it. But gave that one a 5 stars. Alright, then I read Too Far by Abby Millsaps. So this is The Boys of Lake Chapel book 3. This is the final book. There is a little novella, I think. I didn't read that one though. I don't know if I don't know, maybe I will. No, I didn't read it. But I was thinking of, did I start it and something like didn't, whatever, which could very well be the case. But I like this series. I think this final book, I don't know, I gave it 4 stars. Not a bad rating at all. It was entertaining book. It just didn't hit for me the way the other 2 books in the series hit. Let me see. Yeah, I gave book 1 and book 2 4.5 stars. So I wanted book 3 to be so good, and it landed on the 4 stars. And I think the only reason I think, yeah, and I gave it 4 stars because I was going to give it 3.5 stars. But I love the ending of this. This author gave us like 4 novellas. It was like 2 years later, 3 years after that, 4 years after that. And I was like, thank you. I love that so very much. And so she got a little extra something for that. I don't know if I explained the series too well the last time, but this series is an interesting one. It's a Why Choose Romance, if you do not know. But our main character, they're going to college, whatever. And so she meets our characters there. Some drama happens, and basically she's forced to live in the same house with them. That's what I'll say. And so obviously one thing leads to another, and then they're all in love. But I think book 4, like where it's instead of having a unique thing about it, it starts to just repeat a lot of the stuff that we got in book 1 and book 2, and I'm like, are you stupid? And then there's just one character in specifically who you're like, you're annoying, like, can you grow up or not? And you know when it's those characters who think they're like trying to do this big like thing, they're like, I have to do this, and you're like, no, actually you don't, you didn't have to do this, because this is not life or death, buddy, you're being so drama. And so I didn't love that. And so when it starts to feel like that, then I'm like, okay, you know, 4 stars, 3.5 stars, whatever. But those novellas were, so I think that's why I didn't read, I'm sorry, those epilogues I meant to say, but I think that's why I didn't read the novella, was because there were so many good epilogues. But I don't know. I have to double check that. Oh yeah, I didn't read this. I gotta read this. It's a Valentine's Day novella. Cute. Okay, I gotta read that. I think it was because it ended like this. I was like, bling, and then I didn't read it. But anyway, I gotta read that. Then I gave a book a 6 star. Can you believe that? I gave a book a 6 star, and I have a couple 6-star books, you guys know, like quite a few. But for some reason, this one was so bizarre. Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. I said, girl. I loved this book. It was also, I don't have the physical copy. I'm gonna buy it eventually. I'm probably gonna buy a couple versions of it because I loved this book so much. If you don't know, her books are pretty small. The reason why her books are so like incredible is just because she always has like an older main character. I think our main character was 35. I think our male main character might have been 40. Like, and so a lot of the books that we, you know, are romance books, the characters are max 27, but usually they're 25, 26, you know what I'm saying? So it feels like a little bit more mature, I feel like. And then a lot of her main characters also have kids, which is a really cool, again, dynamic. Some of her books have like divorce in it. So for this one, Nora Goes Off Scripts, our main character is divorced, and she has 2 kids. But she's also like a script writer, so she writes I think movies it is. And so the book like opens up with her like getting this really cool thing happens for her. And so we meet like our characters. We meet obviously our male main character, and honestly, it's a whirlwind. I loved it. I felt so connected. I felt so invested. And we go on this journey. We have some tropes. I don't even want to tell you, because we have some tropes that I feel like, first of all, you don't expect. And unless, you know, I'm not the type of person, I don't like to figure out books before the ending. Honestly, that's not my favorite thing. I know some people are like, oh, I think this is going to happen. Sometimes that happens naturally, but if it doesn't happen naturally, I never like force myself. I'm not like, oh, let me sit here and critically think. No. I just let it happen. I like to be this like surprised in books. So I'm like, I want it to happen organically. I want to feel it organically. And so, yeah, we had some intense moments, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. It hurts, but it's just so incredible. I don't know what I was saying about the figure. Oh, I was gonna say, because I honestly don't think you would expect what would happen at all, is what my point is. At all. I don't think you would at all. But again, unless you're the type of person who's like, oh, this is probably gonna, whatever. Loved it. I don't know where I was going with that, but I freaking loved it. This book is so jam-packed with so many things, and it's like this big. So many thoughts, so many emotions, so many feelings. Obsessed. Check, 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 check. 6 star. Thank you. All you need to know. All right, then I read Nocticadia. We read this for book club. And I'm going with 4 stars. I honestly don't know what I originally gave it because for some reason my rating wasn't on here, and I don't really care that much to like go back and look. I liked this. I like this book. It's a standalone like gothic. Is it even fantasy? It's like this gothic, dark academia, mystery, romantic. It says romantasy, but again, I don't know very many I mean, there's this fantasy element because this thing doesn't exist, but there's no like magic. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. So it's just like an interesting. But I liked it because our main character, she's a housemate. She's going through stuff. She's freaking feels like she's seeing things. And then she goes to this school and meets like this teacher. I said, teacher student stop. But obviously it's not all roses and daisies. Like they're trying to like solve this thing that's happening to a bunch of different people. They're trying to solve this thing basically. So it is kind of like almost like sciencey a little bit. Like I don't know, it just has a lot of things. But it's a standalone. So the book's ends. She does leave it open so like she can do like spin-offs or other characters could get books, I think. But I think for the most part, it's like, you know, you don't have to read anything else. You know how the story ends. And so I kind of like that. That's why that's why I gave it 4 stars, because I like that. A lot of things I liked. I think that like if, you know, I'm not saying run and read this. I don't think that you need to like, put this top of your list, like read it right now. Like I don't think that. But I think if you have it and you're looking for something, like this was a perfect book, honestly, again, to read during the month that I was like in a reading slump, because there was just not a lot of commitment and I was just able to like enjoy it for what it was. Again, it's corny, some things are cringy, but like you kind of like enjoy it anyway. You know what I mean? So I liked it. So I was 4 stars. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I think I liked it more than some of the book club girlies because they were like kind of like, you know, they liked it, but I don't think they were like, I think a lot of them gave it like 3.5 stars. I don't know. I think I almost gave it 4.5 stars. I'm not gonna lie, because I just, again, I enjoyed it. I just love that dynamic. The like forbidden romance teacher student. Professor Orion. Am I developing a... I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Okay. Okay, then we finished off the month with a Christmas book. So we did end up reading The Christmas Tree Farm. So I was gonna put this in a whole reading vlog. We started it in a reading vlog, and then I was gonna put it in a reading vlog, I filmed 2 reading vlogs this past month that I did not finish, and I'm not gonna finish them. One was I was just mood reading, so I would just like, you know, update when I felt like it, random books. But again, I didn't read that many books, so it was like whatever. And then the second video I was gonna film is getting out of a reading slump. But I'm like, honestly, that's a little, it's just gonna be, I don't know, it just wasn't, it didn't motivate me. It didn't help me. And so I'm just gonna scratch that. And then I think the next reading vlog we're gonna do is like filming, like reading Christmas books. And then the one after that is I wanna do actually finishing series. And I'm telling you that because then I'm gonna prioritize them both. Right? Right. So anyway, I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this. This is The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. And I ended up also going with 4 stars. This one, I fear, though, did have a little bit of... My reading slump was a little influenced this just a smidge. I will say, like, if I probably wasn't in a reading slump, I probably would have liked it a little bit more. But I would read it and then I would stop. Like, I read it a little bit, had to return it to Libby because I didn't read it for so long. Bought it back, and then I only, like, by the time I finished this book, I had a couple days left. So it took me a pretty long time to read it. Like, again, above average for me, I should say. Like, I know a lot of people, sometimes people read one book over the course of a month. You do you, man. For me, that's not normal. So it just like influenced it a little bit. But I enjoyed this book. I thought it was fun. I gave it 4 stars. So I probably would have given it like maybe 4.25. I don't think it would have been a 5-star at all. But I do really enjoy these books, this series. I just think they're fun. I think you have to just let yourself enjoy them. I think this is not a book that you're going to want to sit down and annotate and, like, again, critical think. Like, I do not think that at all. I think this is definitely a book that you're just going to want to chill. And that's why I love that they're holiday and, like, festive, because, and just different seasons. Because you can literally just sit back and enjoy it. You can laugh, you can cry, you can scream, like the whole 9. I think this one too, the reason why I think I didn't love it though too is the ending. I just don't love an ending like this. It was just kind of like, I don't know. It could have been like, I don't know, it could have been better in my opinion. I don't want to spoil too much. I like our main characters. I wasn't like super attached to our main characters, but I enjoyed them. Again, I thought they were fun. I thought they were really cute together. They were unique because our female main character, she's not necessarily a Grinch, but she's a little bit like, has a hard outer shell. But our male main character, he's a people pleaser. He's always saying yes. He's trying to fix everything for people. And you don't see a lot of books with those two dynamics, the female and the male like that. So I really liked it. I really liked that combo. So, a lot of good things about this. Again, I think it probably deserves a little bit more, a higher of a rating. But for now, we're going to stick with the 4 stars. But I definitely think you should read it this season. So that is it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, nerds!